My older brother Zach is 19 years old. He suffers from epilepsy.
Wake up? It's really hard to wake him up in the morning. He loves to sleep.
He walks with assistance. He has no verbal skills.
I'll give you a couple minutes, but you gotta wake up.
He had to have a G-tube, a feeding tube, put in a couple of years ago. And, you know, he is the more severe case of epilepsy.
Typically, the routine is I do this, get his clothes out, get everything out, and Jen gets here around 6:30, 7. She lately has been getting him dressed because I hurt my back.
Because of his ongoing seizures, it's such an interruption of his flow of learning and able to do different things.
Still 19 years old, still wearing diapers. Come on. Auntie's getting the wet face cloth.
His nurse, Jen, gets to the house 6:30.
It's like getting a little drunken soldier ready. Huh? You're going to fight the war. Good morning.
How's he doing? Sleepy. He's all excited about swimming.
Zach was about 6 weeks old, and I was at a wedding shower for a friend of mine, and he was sleeping, and he kind of woke up, and his mouth got real wide, and his eyes got real wide, and it was followed by a tremor. And I had never seen a seizure before.
When we took him to the doctors, we realized that Zachary had epilepsy. We didn't know how severe at the time. As a firstborn, it was something that we had to get used to. Ever since, it's been an adventure.
Zach's 19 now, so he'll be turning 20 in April. I've known him for 6 years now. On any given day, his body looks like it's cutting out on him, but he's trying to find a way of something he can do.
Keep walking.
My goal has always been safety first. So he comes to school, keep him safe, see how his day is going, and then try to keep him, get him involved.
Well, you know what?
Every day is different with Zach. It depends on whether he's had a seizure the night before or if he is getting sick. There are some days that we come in and I'll put him in the stander, but he'll be sleeping.
Boy.
Or he won't eat for days, so he has a G-tube that he has to get his feeds through there.
People that have epilepsy and live so-called normal life, unfortunately, most of those people don't advocate for themselves, and they kind of keep it a secret. It's had that stigma attached to it where people don't want to disclose.
Everybody wants to help Zach. Everyone wants to be his buddy. And that's really where Zach thrives. But if Zach has a bad day and he has a seizure, you throw everything else off to the side and you say, okay, safety first again. And then it's real, because this kid's struggling to breathe, or this is who he is.
Zach has definitely declined in a lot of areas.
How are we doing today, Zachary?
At one point, he was actually walking by himself. Not far, but he would take maybe 10 steps by himself. Actually, one night when we moved into this house, I heard a crash in the middle of the night. He actually came from his bedroom out into the living room, and he was standing holding on to the side of the couch. That was probably about 7 years ago.
He's got the lean, though.
Yeah.
He's got a heavy-duty lean today.
He's just falling forward.
On Fridays, I go to the swimming pool. I fought for that because I really thought that was important for them to get a different kind of activity in their day.
He's not as tense when he's in the water. He has a flotation device where he can be pretty independent, where he can walk, and you don't have to worry about him falling over, so it gives him a chance to be free. You can just see he has better flexibility in the water. You can take his arms and kind of, do this with it, where he's not so cortical, because he spends a lot of his day like this.
Is he snarling? Are you snarling, Zach?
Yep. Yeah, you're getting the look.
Oh, yeah, this is one of his least favorite activities, so I figured we'd do it right away.
Good job, Zach.
Good sitting. Good sitting.
Big stretch.
Hey, nice looking. Yes, it's me, your favorite torturer.
We're going to make the coffee now. We're going to make the coffee.
The smell of the coffee is really good for Zach. Kind of wakes him up.
Yes, that smells good. We're going to pour the beans into the grinder. Your arms are so nice and relaxed here. We're working on expanding his communication attempts and successes.
That smells so good. Go ahead,
Going to grind those beans.
We have a vibrating switch plate that he can hit, and because of that vibration, that cause and effect, that would initiate him to actually want to hit the plate.
Oh, plenty now. Here we go. Nice watching. 2.
Zachary has cortical visual impairment, which means that his visual impairment is with processing of what he sees. Like this background here would not work for him. It has to be a black background or a solid white background so that he can distinguish between what it is that you want him to look at and what is around him.
When he was a baby, he had too many seizures to even count, probably 50 a day. Now he has grand mal seizures, and he probably has 2 to 3 a week.
With his grand mal seizures, it takes him a couple of days to really kind of come out of it and come back to where he can do things like this.
Believe it or not, I think his body has actually gotten used to it.
He fell over the weekend, had a seizure, and smacked his head on the carpet.
Sometimes the medications that they put the children on are worse than the seizures. So this is the first 2 years of his life. We tried all these medications, and none of them worked. A lot of it we would have to chop up and put in applesauce when he was a baby. We also tried injections that I had to give him every day. And it wasn't just like a little diabetic needle. It was like a huge needle, and he just like cried from the minute he woke up until the minute he went to bed.
As a parent, it breaks your heart because you know that you're trying to help him, but you also know that it's not either working for him or it's making him feel worse than what he is already.
And I really feel like that particular drug took his personality away.
Yeah, we try to give Zach an opportunity to utilize his bike daily. I don't like to keep him in his chair, so he really likes the bike, gets him moving. We got you, buddy. He's usually happy when he's in his bike. I got one for you, Zach. Bowling, the thing that I like about it is it's something that he can do, because we have a modified ramp that would sit in his lap, so the ball was basically in his lap, and then he would just be required to, kind of give it a push.
There it is. Yeah!
I don't know if it's the actual sport itself that he likes, or it's the fact that he's with his peers. That whole socialization piece is really big for him. The best way for Zach to learn is by pairing an object, so he has a texture, the word itself of whatever the activity is, and then, preferably an auditory feedback. And we try to do that with all of the activities for him. It's by pairing and using multiple intelligences.
I grew up knowing that he was different. I would see him having seizures and my mom would be all worried. That would be the only difficult part. Whenever I hear like, oh, he can't understand what you're saying, Connor, I know he can. It's just, I've always known that. and I know he's my older brother inside. It's just he has a heart. He can't communicate with me.
Nope. He wants to dunk his hands in it like a wise guy. Got a boy, Zach.
Come on, get nasty. Come on.
He can pat that down.
Come on. I know you don't like this, but it's good for you. Yeah.
If he's having a good day, all these little things come out. And you feel like he's kind of like locked inside sometimes.
Over time, it seems like he has more not so good days than good days. I can't emphasize enough how important the research is, because when I look at him, to me it just seems like there's a kid inside trapped.
Epilepsy gets very little funding. If you take Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, autism, and MS, per patient, they get $200 to $400 per person, and epilepsy research gets about $35 per patient. And it's not really getting any better. Ultimately, we want a cure, because this is just a Band-Aid, if anything.
Hopefully through research, we can find out more about the human brain. The human brain is one of the most complex things in the human body. Every day, every year, they make new breakthroughs, and to make sure that money can be used the best toward childhood epilepsy.
The dream would be for my brother to be cured. I want other families not to have to go through this every day.
And help find a cure too.
We don't know Zachary's lifespan. We take every day with Zachary with a blessing. We're concentrating with the quality of life for Zachary and making him as comfortable as possible.
I try not to think too far ahead. He's got 2 more years of school, and then, I don't know, he's always going to live at home with me.